Good afternoon. Today we'll be studying the second chapter of Hilchot Gerushin, and this chapter will deal with the free will required from the man in regards to the Gerushin. As we mentioned before, it is one of the components required for Gerushin to be valid. The beginning of the chapter will deal with agents of the husband that may or may not be able to execute and deliver the get for him. The second part of the chapter will deal with writing a get with different types of people, for example, people that are sick or mentally incapacitated. And the last part of the chapter will deal with bet din, compelling a man to divorce his wife if they deem is appropriate. הלכות גירושין פרק ב' הלכה א', זה שנאמר בתורה וכתב לה ספר כריתות ונתן בידה, אחד הכותב בידו, או שאמר לאחר לכתוב לה, ואחד הנותן בידו, או שאמר לאחר ליתן לה. What is written in the Torah, where it says that the husband must write for the women, a sefer keritut, as we explained in the previous chapter, is a document severing the connection between him and her, and then delivering it to her. This implies that both, if the document was written by his hand or by himself, by the husband, or if it was, or if he appointed someone to write it for him on his behalf, to write it for a specific woman, or if he wrote it himself and appointed an agent to deliver it to her. לא נאמר וכתב, אלא להודיע שאין מתגרשת אלא בכתב. And the Torah did not specifically say vechatav, that he must write the get, only and it did not explicitly say again vechatav, that he must write it. And it only said vechatav to teach us that she is only divorced with a type of document, as we mentioned before, as opposed to a verbal agreement. Venatan shelo tikach me'atzma. And the words venatan in the pasuk are only to teach us that she cannot take the document herself. Rather, it has to be delivered by the husband or by someone appointed by the husband. אמר לשניים כתבו גט וחיתמו ותנו לאשתי, הרי אלו כותבים וחותמים ונותנים לה, והן הן שלוחיו והן הן עדיו. If the husband tells two individuals, write for me a get, sign it and deliver it to my wife, they may write the document, they may sign the document, and they may deliver it to her. They are both his agents and they are also his witnesses. And as we mentioned before, that the shelichim may themselves be edim, as you mentioned in Hilchot Ishut Perek Gimal, and we don't need, in addition to the shelichim, to have two more witnesses, because as we mentioned again in Hilchot Ishut, hashaliach na'asa ed, that the shaliach, the agent, can be a witness as well. וכן, אם אמר לסופר כתוב לי גט לאשתי, so too if he told a scribe to write for me a get to my wife, ואמר לעדים לחתום, and he told the witnesses to sign, כותבין וחותמין ונותנים לו, והוא מגרש בו בכל עת שירצה. They write the document, they sign the document, and they deliver the document to the husband, and the husband can deliver the divorce document and effectively divorce his wife at any moment that he wishes. וכותבין גט לאיש, אף על פי שאין אשתו עמו, and the get and divorce document may be written for a man, even though his wife is not present. והוא שיהיו העדים והסופר שכתבו וחתמו בו מכירים ויודעים שזהו פלוני ואשתו היא פלונית. This is provided that the edim, the witnesses and the scribe that wrote and signed the document know and understand that this is peloni, and they know who this individual was, and they know exactly who his wife is. ואם היו באותו מקום שניים ששמותיהן שווים ושמות נשותיהן שווים, if there was a place that there were two people with the same name who married two women with the same name, אין מגרש אחד מהן אלא במעמד חברו. They may only, one of them can only do the divorce except in the other's presence. שמא יכתוב גט ויוליכו לאשת חברו ויגרשנה עליו. that because we suspect that that one of the people with the same name as the other would have a get written and deliver the document to his friend's wife and effectively um, divorce her. Vishaat hasakana. Kotevin venotnin afal pi she'en mekirin, and this is an exception to what we said. In times of danger, a get may be written and delivered to someone, even though the sofer and the edim, do not know for whom it is being delivered or written to. והאישה נותנת שכר הסופר בכל מקום, and the women can give the money to the sofer in any locale. And this is something Chachamim did for the benefit of the woman in order for her not to stay in aguna, because if the husband delayed payment to the sofer, it would keep her in this aguna state, as opposed to, for example, shetar kiddushin, the document for kiddushin and the funds for it, the husband has to pay it. וצריך שיאמר הבעל מעצמו לסופר כתוב, we're in הלכה ב', and the husband must tell the scribe specifically to write the document, ולעדים חתומו, and to the edim to sign the document, because shelichut must be done only by direct appointment from one party to the other. הרי שאמרו לו בדין או שניים נכתוב גט לאשתך ואמר להם כתובו. If, however, a person, Bedin or two people asks and inquires of the husband to write a get, should we write a get for your wife? And he says, right. If they wrote it themselves and signed it after the husband's consent, it is a valid get. אבל אם אמרו הן לסופר וכתב ולעדים וחתמו, אף על פי שחזרו ונתנוהו לבעל וחזר ונתן גט זה לאשתו בפני עדים, הרי זה גט בטל, שהרי כתבו משלא אמר לו הבעל לכותבו. However, if the husband, hold on. However, if the husband tell the scribe to write it and he does so, or if they tell the two witnesses to sign it and they sign it, the rule is that even if they turn around and give it back to the husband and he delivers the get to his wife in the presence of the witnesses, the get is null and void, because the person who wrote it is not the one told by the husband to write it, because Bedin told them in this case. Amar li shnaim o li shlosha. אמר לי שניים או לשלושה, הלכה ג' אמרו לסופר ויכתוב גט לאשתי, ואמרו לעדים ויחתומו, ואמרו לסופר וכתב לעדים וחתמו, או שאמר לשניים אמרו לסופר ויכתוב גט לאשתי, ואתם חתומו, הרי זה גט פסול, ומתיישבים בדבר זה הרבה, מפני שהוא קרוב להיות גט בטל. If he says to 2 or 3 people, tell the scribe to write a get for my wife, and tell the witnesses to sign it, and they tell the scribe and he writes the get, and they tell the witnesses and they sign it, or if he tells 2 people, tell the scribe to write a get for my wife and you sign it, the get is defective, and this matter requires a great deal of deliberation, because the get is very close to being batel and null and void. And Harambam right now will explain exactly the difference between a get pasul and a get batel. Uma ben pasul levatel, and what is the difference between a get that is pasul and batel? Shekol makom shene'emar bechibur ze beget shehu batel, hu batel min haTorah. Extremely important that whenever Harambam will use the term batel in regards to a get anywhere in the Mishne Tora, it is invalid and null and void from the Torah. It is batel totally. בכל מקום שנאמר פסול, הוא פסול מדברי סופרים. And whenever we will use the term pasul, it is pasul midarabanan. Halacha Dalid. הבעל שהביא גט בידו חתום, ואמר תנו גט זה לאשתי, הרי אלו ייתנו לה. If the husband came with a signed get in his hand and told someone to give this get to my wife, they may give it to him. And this is obviously implying two people here, as he says, as Harambam says, hare elu yitenu la, that it is that these people must give it to her in plural. אמר לאחרים לכתוב גט ולחתום וליתנו no לאשתו. If he told two others to write the get and sign it and to give it to his wife, וחתמו ונתנו לה, and they wrote it, signed it, and delivered it to her, ונמצא הגט בטל או פסול, and we find that the get is either בטל or פסול, הרי אלו כותבין אחר. These people, these agents that the husband appointed, have the authority to write a new get, ואפילו 100, and can write 100 new gitin, עד שיגיע לידה get kasher, until they deliver a valid get to the women. הלכה ה' אמר להם הבעל, כתבו וחיתמו ותנו לשליח להוליך לה. If the husband tells the agents, write, sign, and give it to a shaliach to deliver the get to this woman, to my wife. וכתבו וחתמו ונתנו לשליח ונמצא הגט בטל, אין כותבין אחר עד שימלכו בבעל, שהרי לא עשה אותם לגירושין, ושמא לא רצה אלא שיכתבו ויתנו לשליח בלבד, ולא יישאר להם בו מעשה אחר, הרי כתבו ונתנו. And if the husband tells two individuals to write, sign, and to give the get to an agent, and we find that the get is batel, they do not have the authority to write a new get until they encounter the husband, and he appoints them again, because the shalichim were only made to write the document and to give it to a shaliach, and perhaps he only wished for them to deliver the document and only give it to the shaliach, and they don't have the authority to do anything else on behalf of the husband, and they already wrote and delivered and did whatever they had to do, and they don't have the authority to do anything else. Therefore they cannot write another get. And if they did in fact write a valid get, and they gave it to the shaliach, and the shaliach gave the get to the wife, she is safek megoreshet. We have a doubt whether if she is megoreshet or not. האומר לשניים או ליתר על שניים, כתבו גט ותנו לאשתי, גרשוה, שלחוה, שיווקוה, טרחוה, כתבו איגרת ותנו לה, הרי אלו יכתבו גט כשר ויתנו לה. If an individual tells two people or more, write for me a get and give it to my wife, or divorce her, or send her away, or shivkuha, tarhuha are both words in Aramaic that imply sending a wife away or to divorce her, or if he tells them, write for me a letter and give it to her, all of these individuals should write a valid get and deliver it to the wife. Because all of these imply a clear language of the husband wishing to divorce his wife. אמר להם פיטרוה, פרנסוה, עשו לה כדת, עשו לה כנימוס, עשו לה כראוי, לא אמר כלום, ואם כתבו גט ונתנו לה, הרי זה בטל. However, if he uses language such as, if he says absolve her, or provide for her, or do to her according to the law, or do to her what is customary to be done, or do to her what should be properly done to her, he did not say anything. And if these agents wrote a get and delivered it to her, it is batel, because it doesn't sever the connection between the husband and the wife, and there is no clear, again, there's not a clear severing of this relationship. Halacha zayin. Amar lahem, hotziuha, izvuha, hitiruha, הניחוها הועילוה, הרי זה ספק אם משמע מילות אלו הגירושין או עניין אחר. If the husband told if the husband told the agents, take her out or leave her alone or release her or leave her alone or do something useful with her, it is we have a doubt whether the implication of these words is girushin or something else. Therefore, these agents cannot write the get for her. And if they did in fact write the get and deliver it to her, she is safek migoreshet, because all of this language does not denote or imply divorce. הלכה ח' האומר כתבו גט לאשתי, הרי אלו כותבין וחותמין ונותנו לבעל בידו. If the husband says, write a get for my wife, and they write the get and sign it, and give it to the husband, and deliver the document to the husband, ve'en notnin, and they have the authority again to write the get and sign it and deliver the get to the husband. And they cannot deliver the document to the wife until he explicitly tells them to deliver it. And if they in fact did deliver the get to the wife, it is not a get. When is this so? This is so in regards to a person who is in good health. Aval hamsukan, however, someone that is ill. This is an individual that became ill suddenly and quickly. Miyad, in his health deteriorated fast. Or someone who is led from jail to trial in chains. Even if it was in regards to a monetary trial. Or someone that was on a sea voyage, or someone that was traveling on a caravan, and he tells agents to write a get to his wife. These agents in these four cases can write the get, can sign the get, and can deliver the get. Because we assume that the husband desired that they should write and deliver the get to her, because both of these four cases, the individual is in a dangerous, life-threatening situation, and we assume that the husband's intent was for his wife to be divorced and not to block the possibility for her to remarry and to keep her in the state of an aguna. הלכה ט' ברי שאמר כתבו גט לאשתי וכתבו ונתנו לה והרג עצמו מיד כגון שהשליך עצמו מן הגג או הפיל עצמו לים, הרי זה גט כשר. If a sound and healthy person said, write a get to my wife, and they wrote it and delivered it to her, and then he suddenly committed suicide right after, or if he threw himself from the roof or threw himself into the ocean, this is a valid get. Allah lagag udhafatu haruah umet eno get. However, if he went to the roof and a wind pushed him and he died, it is not a valid get. Safek hipil atzmo safek dehafatu haruah. If we are unsure whether he threw himself off the roof or if a strong wind pushed him off, harez a get. This is a valid get. Until we can positively establish that the wind pushed him off. V'chen, mi she'aya mushlach bebor. So too, if someone that was left in a pit, ve'amar, and he said, Kol hashomea koli yichtov get le'ishti. And he said and proclaimed, anyone who can hear my voice, please write a get to my wife. These the people that heard it have the authority to write the get and to deliver the get. And this is provided that they know who he is and can recognize his voice. And even if they bring him up from the pit and in fact did not know him, the get is a valid get. Kishat hasakanahu, because this is like the dangerous situation that we mentioned before. Shekotvin v'notnin afal pisha and mikirin, as we mentioned, that the get can be written and delivered even though they do not know exactly who um, who the husband is and who the wife is for that purpose. So to someone who incurred severe injuries that it is highly unlikely that he will recover. Even he was injured so severely that his trachea and esophagus, the majority of them were cut. Ve'ramaz ve'amar kitu get le'ishti, and he hinted and said something along the lines of, write a get to my wife. These agents who he tells this to can write and deliver the get. Because he is in fact still alive, even though he is about to die. Someone who had some type of mental or psychological illness that overtook him. And he said while the illness began, write a get to my wife, he did not say anything. He did not say anything because his mind because he is not sound at this at the present moment, and his mind isn't settled. So to someone who is drunk that reached the degree of drunkenness that Lot did. Chachamim labeled the drunkenness for one would be considered mentally incapacitated. The drunkenness of Lot, that his two daughters had relations with him and he had no idea that they did that. And again, as we mentioned before, it is in Hilchot De'ot, it is absolutely prohibited for one to get drunk, especially to the degree of drunkenness that Lot did. And if he did not reach the drunkenness degree of Lot, he told someone to write a get for his wife, she is safek megoreshet, whereas someone who did reach the degree of drunkenness of Lot, he and said to write a get for his wife, he did not say anything effective that would result in a Gerushin. הלכה י"א אמר כשהוא בריא, כתבו גט ותנו לאשתי, ואחר כך נבעט, ממתינין עד שיביא וחוטבין ונותנים לה, ואין צריך לחזור ולהימלך בו אחר שיביא. Someone who was healthy and said, write a get and deliver it to my wife, and then became overtaken by a mental illness. We wait for him to become healthy, and we write and deliver the get to his wife, and we don't need to ask to return and encounter him after and ask permission for him after he becomes healthy. However, if the get was written and delivered before the individual became sound again, the get is pasul. Again, pasul is pasul midrabanan. Halacha yodbet. Mishne Tora, someone who became mute but was mentally sound. Amrulo nichtov get leishtecha, and he was asked if we should give a get to his wife. V'hirkin berosho, and he nodded his head. Botkinoto shelosha pa'amin beserugin. We check him at three different times. Im amar al lav ve'al hin. If he said no at the proper time and he said yes at the proper time, and by this we check if he is mentally sound and he understands what's going on. These people may write a get and deliver it to his wife. And we must check this individual very carefully, because it is possible that he became deranged. So too, if the individual wrote by hand please give a get to my wife and deliver it to her. הרי אלו כותבין ונותנים לה, אם הייתה דעתו מיושבת עליו, שאין דין מי שנשתתק כדין החירש. And if, again, he write a get and deliver it to my wife, the people may write and deliver the get to his wife. And again, provided that he is mentally sound, because someone who is mute is different from someone who is mute and deaf. As we said before, someone who is mute and deaf is considered as someone who has no da'at. However, someone who is mute is considered to have some type of da'at. Halacha Yod Gimel. Someone who married a woman while he was healthy and then became deaf and mute. And obviously, someone who became mentally incapacitated cannot do a divorce until he becomes healthy. And we do not rely on the hinting or writing of someone who is mute and deaf, even though he may be mentally sound. However, if he married while he was a חירש, he may divorce by hinting. And his kiddushin are not kiddushe Torah, as we mentioned in Hilchot Ishud Perek Daled. And just as he may marry and do kinus with by hinting, so too he can divorce and release his wife by hinting as well. Halacha Yod Daled. Hamekadesh ketana al yedei aviha. Someone who if a man betrothed a minor girl through the agency of her father, and divorced her while she is still a minor, as we mentioned before, a ketana is someone who is 12 years old or less, who did not bring about signs of puberty. And a na'ara is the interval of 6 months from which after 12 years old and brought signs of puberty, that is called a na'ara, and a bogeret is 6 months after that. And as you mentioned before, a father can betroth his daughter while she is a ketana and while she is a na'ara. So mekadesh ketana al yedei aviha v'geresha keshehi ketana, aviha mekabel gita. So if a man betrothed did kiddushin to a na'ara through the agency of her father and did gerushin with her while she is still a na'ara, her father may accept the get. And once the get reaches the hand of the father, she is divorced. If they did the gerushin, if the husband does the gerushin while she is a na'ara, if the get reaches her or her father, she is megoreshet. אבל האב עושה שליח לקבל הגט לביתו המאורסת בין קטנה בין נערה. A na'ara cannot appoint an agent to receive her get from her father while her father is still living, but her father may appoint an agent to accept the get on behalf of his daughter while she is a ketana or while she is a na'ara. Halacha Tedvav, קידשה אביה והיא קטנה ומת, אם מבחנת בין כיתה לדבר אחר, הרי זה מגורשת, ומשיגיע הגט לידה. משיגיע הגט לידה, ואם לאו, אינה מגורשת עד שתיבחן. אם גירשה, אינה מגורשת. If her father did kiddushin to her while she was a minor and then died, she is megoreshet once the get reaches her, provided she can distinguish between her get and any other document. If she cannot, she is not divorced until she is able to do so. And her husband may, and if the husband does do the gerushin, she is not considered megoreshet. Now we're going to switch gears to something very, a topic that is extremely interesting and extremely sensitive, and does have a great deal of ramifications for halacha lema'aseh, and is unfortunately a topic in which we find Jewish women today. And the topic is Bet Din compelling an individual to give a get to his wife. Again, an extremely sensitive topic, but an extremely important one of which there are many ramifications. Halacha l'maaseh. Halacha tetzayin. Mi she'adin noten shekofin oto legaresh et ishto. If the law, if the law is in a certain case that the law authorizes Bet Din to compel a man to divorce his wife, and he did not want to do the divorce, Bet Din shel Yisrael bechol makom ubechol zeman makin oto ad sheyomar rotze ani v'yichtov haget v'hu get kasher. The Jewish court in any place and in any time is authorized to use physical force until the husband says, I want to divorce her, because we require, one of the requirements of a kosher get and a valid get is ratzon. The get, he writes the get, and the get is a valid get. So too, if goyim use physical force on him. And the goyim tells him, do what the Jewish court authorized and is compelling for you to do. And if the Jewish people, again the Bet Din, through the goyim, pressure this individual until he gives a get and divorces his wife, this is a valid get. And if the goyim themselves pressure him until he writes the get, because the law authorized and compels him for him to divorce his wife, hare get pasul. The get is pasul midrabanan, and he should write another one in order for his wife to be divorced midrabanan. And again, this is because the goyim from themselves pressure him. But if the goyim under the umbrella or through the or the Jews through the goyim pressure him to divorce his wife, she is and he gives a get, the get is valid. Halacha Yod Zayin. Velama lo batel get ze sharehu anus ben beyad goyim ben beyad Yisrael. And here Harambam asks the obvious question: why is this get in the case of goyim themselves pressuring him to give the get? Why is this get not null and void? Because this individual was under duress, he was anus. And why is there a difference between goyim and between Jews, between goyim that pressure him and compel him, and between Jews that compel and pressure him? She'en omerim anus, because we only say a person is anus or under duress, ela lemishin nilhatz v'nidhak la'asot davar she'enu hayav min haTorah la'asoto, kegon mishehuka o shemachar o shenatan. Because duress only applies to an individual who is compelled and pressed to do something which the Torah does not obligate him to do. For example, someone who consents to sell something or to give something away as a gift. However, someone whom his evil inclination and impulses overcome him and stand in his way as an obstacle to do a mitzvah, or to do an rather not to do a mitzvah, or to in fact do an avera lo alenu, and he was and physical force was used on this individual to obligate him to do something, or to obligate him to do something that he is obligated in doing, or to distance this individual from doing something that is forbidden for him to do. And ze anus mimenu, he is not considered to be under duress. Illahu anas atmo beda'ato hara'a. Rather, he simply put himself under duress because of his evil inclination. And if he, in fact, did have the ability to um, do the mitzvah or to distance himself the avira, he would do it. But Bedin simply gives him a push to do the right thing. And again, extremely, extremely important concept here that Harambam will elaborate on in the next halakha. Therefore, someone who does not want to do Gerushin, in so much as he wants to be a member of the Jewish nation, he does in fact deep down want to do all the mitzvot. And he does want to distance himself from averot, but his impulses and evil inclination overcome him at this moment. And because and as a result of him being struck so that his evil inclination was weakened. And he in fact said, I do in fact want to give my wife a get. We consider this as him giving the get out of his free will, and the get is in fact valid. And again, this is all assuming that Bet Din determined that the law was that this individual must give a get to his wife. However, if the law determined, in fact, that this man should not be compelled to divorce his wife, and the Bedin made a mistake or it was a non-expert Bedin, and they compelled him to give a get. Hareze get pasul, the get is pasul. Since the Jewish court compelled him to give the get, he should finish and divorce giving the get. However, if the goyim pressure him and compel him to give the get when in fact the law did not authorize him and compel him to give the get is not valid and it is not a get. Even if he told the goyim that I do want to give a get, and he told the Jews to write and to deliver the get and to sign it, since the law did not compel him to give the get and the goyim pressured him to give it, it is not a get at all. Amen.